Hey, it's Antoine Williams here. The date is June 9th, 2023, and this is another eNation video. Today, I have one that I thought was kind of interesting. It says, ex-publishing CEO left destitute by young ex-wife, Grinch, New York City suit claims. Yeah, I was reading this one, I read through it, I thought it was pretty interesting, so I'm just gonna run through it on video and give my opinion. So, this is what it says. It says a once wealthy publishing CEO claims his much younger ex-wife is a Grinch who siphoned off his riches and left him destitute. The former head of, I'm not gonna say the company name, but he was once worth 43.5 million, and he was known for doing some stuff. He got publishing rights to a book. It says, but now he's in debt after his former wife, which I'm not going to say her name, wiped out his accounts and even stole his frequent flyer miles. Okay, so he was 72 and she was 44, and she didn't have much money to her name when they met in 2004. So they married and were together for a decade before she initiated divorce proceedings in 2018. She got $10 million in the split, but by then his wealth had decreased substantially, he said, and with money going to Lou representing 75% of what remained of his net worth, he said in his legal filings. Well, he says, but they never really went their separate ways, Snyder claims in the litigation. She dangled false hope of a continued relationship and claimed to be assisting the elderly ill man with his affairs while helping herself to $3 million more, he alleged. Like the Grinch, this is a quote. It says, like the Grinch who left no crumb or morsel behind, she emptied his frequent flyer account of over 300,000 miles days before abruptly abandoning him. And then it gives like details of where she went. Apparently his son got involved because there was a fine, and apparently he's been forced to take on 1.5 million in debt. And he claims his account was being systematically looted. Oh yeah, he wants $3 million from Lou, it says where she lives, and what she claims to do as a job. But he wants $3 million from her. And my initial thought when I saw that he wanted $3 million from her, I guess, is he suing? Yeah, it's a lawsuit. So he's suing her for $3 million. And my initial thought was, yeah, people in hell want ice water too. Like, that's never gonna happen. Maybe it will, I don't know. But my first thought is that it's not gonna happen. And like, my other big thought when I was reading this, I was like, why in the world are they telling me this? Why is this news? Like, okay, some rich guy married some chick who was 30 years younger than him, and turns out like she was in it for money. Who would have thunk it? Not like, I guess I'm just gonna say the obvious. Like, why? Well, I'm gonna say what my thought was. Why in the world? Like, he was 72, she was 44, and he thought, oh yeah, she loves me for me. Like, she's never gonna screw me over. This'll go well. Like, what was the common sense should have kicked in that, like, why didn't he just date her? Why did he marry her? I don't understand. Like, he could have just been with her and not had, like, he could have, paid, but he could have just paid for stuff and whatever, but not married her. And then he wouldn't have been in this boat where he lost all this money. Like, sometimes I think that people think, like the rule, like the rules don't, like, they're special, rules don't apply to them, like, they're not at risk of it, like, nothing bad could ever happen to them. So they just do things that don't make sense. Like, and there had to be warning signs. And this is the thing. With marriages already, it's such a risk. It's such a risk of divorce. So when you got all this money, why would you put yourself in that risk? Like, you're already, like, I got dice here to show it. Let's say, what's the highest number the dice could be? What's half the number? So you got 6 and 6, that's 20. No, wait, you got 6 and 6, that's 12. So let's say you just roll the dice when you get married. Let's say anything over a frickin', when you roll the dice, let's say anything 8 or higher. Yeah, let's say, no, wait, it's 50-50. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm just gonna do a guesstimate. Let's say anything 8 or higher, you're gonna get divorced. And this is just odds, not adding in, the person's personality, like the way you're getting along, like warning signs. So let's go. All right, I'm getting married. Let's roll the dice and see how this is gonna work out. Let's see if I get over an 8. Ooh, I dropped the dice. Maybe that helped me. Oh, I got a 6. It looks like I'm gonna make it. But this would probably be for a normal person. So let's go ahead and add another dice and try to keep it under that 8. I'm gonna roll 3 dice now. And my thought process on rolling 3 dice on this is this guy had to have had warning signs, because this chick is the extreme of a person who is really just in it for money. Like, she just started looting him. I mean, in my opinion, it seems like she was just in it for money. Like, she just started looting him. Like, she's literally took out, like, she literally had 2/3 of his money when the divorce was finalized. Oh, yeah, but they explained it. Yeah, he said that was 75. When she got the 10 mil, he said that represented 75% of his wealth. So already, like, she was just looting him. She just spent as much. Like, she's like, okay, like, just guessing from, like, putting myself in her shoes and guessing what her thought process was. She probably was like, okay, oh, this older guy, he likes me. Ooh, I can I can marry him and then I'll get all his money. So, boom, you're married for a while. You start you just enjoying the lifestyle. You're getting to the end of the road. You're like, screw it, I'll just divorce him and take the money and then do what I want. This is what that thought process that I'm imagining. This lines up with that. Like, she took everything, and then she just kind of moved. Like, this isn't like a situation where it doesn't seem like maybe she liked him or whatever. And then she just, like, it was very fleeting. Maybe she was like, oh yeah, he's great. He's great to be around. His personality's great. But it was like, there's probably, it seems, I don't know, like, the exact, I'm not going to say, oh, she thought this, she thought that, I don't know, I'm just guessing. Or I'm making, like, making a judgment. But it seems like none of that was relevant to the situation. She was with him, like, she might be like, oh yeah, I like him, but it was like she's going through a fleeting process. It's like, okay, I'm going to like him at first, I'm going to be nice at first, and this is what I would imagine. I would imagine that immediately money came into it. Maybe he did, like, I wasn't there, I don't know, but I'm guessing maybe he would, like, brought money into it immediately. Like, he was like, oh yeah, we can do this, we can do that, I'll pay for everything. Oh yeah, I love you so much. Oh, here's stuff. Here's stuff and stuff and stuff. And then she thought, oh, I hit the jackpot, I'm gonna get a bunch of money and blah blah blah. It's like putting yourself in this boat, like, and then oh, she's a Grinch, she's this, she's that. It's like, yeah, she didn't. This is the thing that I believe. Well, this is like the reality. Is no one can really take money from you. It's usually like you have to give it to them. Like, if someone takes money from you, if someone's physically, like, 9 times out of 10, when someone's upset about losing money, it's not because somebody stole it. It's usually because they gave the money away and now they're basically regretting that decision. Like, he married her. When they got married, she automatically was entitled to all his money because it was, like, put together. So he did that. He consented to that. He never had to do that. And that's why my first thought was, why did you marry this chick? But yeah, but now he's crying the blues. It's like, I don't know. It's like, you should have known better. Like, they're painting him out to be it's like they're painting out like, oh my god, can you believe this? It's like, yeah, I can believe this. I'm sure it happens every day. And people should, like, think before they do things and get married and stuff. But, okay, I'm gonna roll again. I'm gonna do 3 dice now. Because I'm gonna say that in this situation, I feel like he was already, like, kind of, like, had things stacked against him. I feel like he was with a chick who, like, was with him for money, and then when, like, it's just a ticking time bomb at that point. So I'm gonna roll and try to get under 8 here. Maybe I can work out a miracle in this situation and keep the relationship going until I pass away. Ooh, no luck. I got an 11. So, boom. Looks like if I was in his boat, I'd be in the exact same situation as him. And that's why I would not do this. Now, I guess I should be... Situations where I would get married. In this situation, let's say I was rich. Situations where I would get married. I don't know. Maybe none. Because the risk is just too high. Like, maybe better off I would do things different. Like, it's not 1950 anymore. It's 2023. Like, it's not like the thought of like, oh, you're gonna get married, you're gonna stay together, and nothing bad's gonna happen, is very rare. And also, it's like, for me personally, do I really want that? Do I want it to be with one person? I'm 30, so let's say I got married now. Let's say I get lucky and I live till 80. That's 50 years. I haven't even lived 50 years. I haven't committed to much past 5 years in my life. So that's an insane commitment. And it's even children, even having children, like having children, that takes 20 years. We're talking about 50. We're not talking about 20. So, like, realistically, the thought of like being together that long, like, you don't think, like, I would get tired of one person that long. Like, that's a long time. So, and that's just me. So you gotta remember there's another human being involved in this. Can you truly trust that they're gonna feel the same way after 50 years? So I'm trying to be fair and think of like when I wouldn't say this was a bad idea. I don't know. I'm truly thinking about it, and I just don't understand like the thought. I think without like the biases of like religion or like, yeah, like religion or being raised, I think this is what you're supposed to do. I don't think there's a good reason to do this. Like, I mean, like, if it's about inheritance or stuff like that, can't you, if you pass away, can't you just, let's say you just date a woman for years and years and years. If it's about inheritance or something, can't you just write it in the will that they'll get this, they'll get that? Like, if it's about like, oh, well, you own the house and blah blah blah, can't you just write in the will like, okay, if I pass away, they get the house and all that? And even that, I don't like. There's ways around. Yeah, like they can pay rent, you can pay the bills, and then you have an agreement like if you pass away, they'll get the home. Like whoever passes away first, the other person gets the home. That's fair. And then like you can figure all that out without getting married. And I just think that getting married, it just puts you at a huge disadvantage where things like this can happen to you. Like this guy went. This is basically like a bomb went off in his life. He is a more successful than I like maybe he's more successful than I am at this point in my life I may ever be in my life, and all that's ruined now because of one decision. And I was thinking about that the other day, like how one decision can really mess things up. For example, in my life, I went to school for tech. I have a tech job. I had student loans. I paid them off. I bought a car, paid it off. Everything's paid off. And I was thinking like, well, maybe I wouldn't want to do tech. Maybe I would want to do like be a lawyer. I was watching YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, all this lawyer stuff seems cool. Maybe I should go back to school to be a lawyer. So I looked into it, and I looked at like the pay for jobs as well as the cost of going to school for it, and I realized that like just like this guy, where like one decision would screw up his life, there's a good chance that going to law school or whatever would greatly like put me at risk and could potentially end up like in this situation where it's like, oh my goodness, like, oh my, this is so bad. Oh, they were like the Grinch in my life. They took it all, and now I'm in a way worse scenario. And yeah, that's why you have to really think through what you're doing in general. And yeah, with the thought of like law school, I decided, maybe it's not. I'm good in my job now. I'll keep on the road I'm on, because there's no point. It's just not worth it. If I could go to law school for cheap, maybe, but it's not worth the work. But yeah, to recap, I would just say that, yeah, I haven't made a video in a few days, so I figured I'd punch one out today. I've been thinking about this video for a while. I've been thinking about this article for a while. I definitely want to talk about it because I feel like it's just so. It's weird that this even has to be like that. This is even a news article. It's like people should know at this point like this like I would hope that people that see this article would think, oh, I should be careful, what I do, like just because I'm wealthy or successful or things going well for me doesn't mean it always will, doesn't mean that every decision I make will be gold, and you have to always double think what you're doing, because this guy could have definitely avoided this. He could have just dated her. He could have dated multiple people. Like, there's no reason that he should be in this boat. But it's just bad decision making. But yeah, feel free to leave comments. Any comments are, it's a brand new channel, so any comments are appreciated. And I'll see you guys in the next one.